We're live, it seems.
I actually decided to get a tall can this time.
Decided to get what?
I actually decided to get a tall can after work today.
Oh, well, I'm going to have one after this stream. Not because I dislike streaming, mind you, just because, like, I know Easy
No,
doesn't.
by the way, congrats because earlier you were saying that next week's gonna be 3 years. So
Yeah.
that means pretty much when I met you, like the show started, right? Because you had stickers when I met you. Because I remember you showed me the logo and stuff like
No,
that.
I'd been doing it for a few months before All In when I met y'all.
Yeah, but that's the thing where it's like I thought you've been doing it for years and years and years, whatever.
No,
But
I
like when
started. I'd started. We're live, but I had started this. Our first episode was literally the week they announced that Daniel Bryan was coming back, because that was like a big deal, because he was
Ooh.
one of my all time favorites. He's probably like maybe top three all time with Shawn and Rock for me. So
I
like that
just
was a big.
realized I was on. I just realized I was on mute when I was trying to talk. But I was saying like, this is our cold open. This is our
I
cold
do that
open.
all the
We talk
time.
when we
Yeah,
go
it's cold
live. We
open.
just talk
Yeah,
about
it's
crap.
but that's the
When is
thing
theme
is
song?
our theme
We
song is
don't need
just
a.
our
We don't
talking.
need a theme song. What are we What are we, a podcast?
Oh, but anyway, I was gonna say congrats on the 3 years anyway because
Yeah.
you do make it look easy with all the shit that you do, the interviews, the comics, the
Ray's in the
wrestling, all the stuff.
house. It's
Whatever.
you.
Hey, only
That
I
just
can
means
be
that you're getting
easy.
good at it too. So
Well, it's not easy,
very cool.
and I don't mean the guy on the
Yeah.
other end of the tin string. But hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Just Us Marks Wrestling
Oh, we're
Recap
live.
Show. Yep, we are live.
Yes, we're live.
I'm the Athletic Geek, joined on the other end of the tin can and string. Can't even talk. Tin can string. It's
And
all
welcome
springy.
to Bottomania,
It's springy.
everybody.
It's springy. That's what it is this time. It's yeah. I have Easy is with us this week.
Happy March Madness, everybody.
Bah humbug. I mean, I guess I am happy because it's the road to WrestleMania and New Japan Cup and all that good stuff going on. But yeah,
I'm
whatever.
keeping up with the trends, okay? It's such good shit.
If you say so. And I got Eric Wade also.
Yeah, I have a tin can in my hand right now.
Tin can in your hand, yeah. Mine's for after.
I'm making chili, so.
Like I was saying, no, Easy doesn't drink, but for me, like it's always if I don't have anywhere to be when I get done filming a project, like the first thing I want to do is like have a beer because I'm always on such edge. Like, please don't have anything go wrong. Please don't please make sure this works. Please make sure this got edited right. Please make sure this interview picked up. Please make sure nothing
Thank God.
fucked
Thank
up
God
on
we're
this
not doing-
show. And then like when it like goes off without a hitch, I'm just like. But
Thank God we're not recording on St. Patrick's Day. And by the way, a special shout out to everyone who remained sober yesterday because straight
It's
edge,
safe in the house.
baby.
I did. As a matter of fact, I didn't drink at all yesterday. I'm
I-
drinking right now. I didn't drink at all
I
yesterday.
had a singular beer.
Not one drop of alcohol.
I had a singular Guinness for the sake of it's St. Patrick's Day, and that was about it.
I've got body armor on me.
I know the Michelle,
The healthier
one of our
Gatorade.
regular chatters, Michelle. She always jokes that in my water cup I got from New York, she always thinks it's a Moscow Mule. And you know what? Maybe next week I'll try and mix a Moscow Mule and drink it at the end of the episode. We'll see. I will have a beverage at the end of the episode next week, because next week will be officially 3 years of the Just Us marks. It was just 2 marks at the time, and
Well, we got more cast and crew, and we thought, fuck it, let's just call it us.
yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a little bit of bubbly to celebrate that night too.
The Purple Monsters are good though. But let's if you've never seen this show before, this is the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. As you heard from our cold open, I met these gentlemen at All In and Starcast. We love wrestling, we love talking wrestling, we love sharing our love of professional wrestling with other passionate wrestling fans like each and every one of you out there. However, just like each and every one of you out there, we are fans. Our opinions are just that of a fan. We avoid insider terms when we can because at the end of the day, we are not insiders, we are not wrestlers, we're just marks. And yeah, we got some stuff to talk about. And yeah, so probably gonna just skim Raw and SmackDown. We got Fastlane kind of coming out of nowhere. Um,
That's what happens when the road to WrestleMania happens. We got pay-per-views from out of nowhere.
no contest this time, but we will be giving our predictions for Fastlane. But definitely be stay tuned for the WrestleMania contest because it's gonna be big. Or at least bigger than normal, because there's gonna be. I've learned from AEW that maybe you don't hype things up too much because some people's gonna go like, "What? You're not giving away everything in your house? You suck!"
Man,
And I learned
AEW
that the
really,
hard way.
Yeah.
they really taught us all a lesson on hype.
Yes, they did. And much like the hype, if I overhype it too much, what some people might consider to be some neat prizes, will be undermining. It's like, you said it was going to be big. Why ain't you giving away all your Shawn Michaels and Kenny Omega signed shit? You loser.
Ooh, I'll take all the Kenny Omega shit.
You will not.
Damn it.
You had the opportunity to go meet Kenny Omega and get it signed just like I did.
I met Kenny Omega already.
Well, then
I was the asshole that asked the Canada question at Starcast.
Yeah, you had the chance to get that sign and that sign, all that stuff, but you didn't. But
but I got a T-shirt from him when they were in Cleveland. And that T-shirt is now probably worn by my girlfriend. Got it to Haley out in London.
So pretty much, other than Daniel Bryan getting a title match this coming Sunday, like SmackDown was like just kind of a good little show, I think. I mean, like nothing really worth going in depth about, just a good little show. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which
I argue more of SmackDown than I do with Monday Night Snooze Fest.
Well, let's say like Big E and Sammy was good. The segments with Bryan, they were good. Just a solid show. Like nothing. I'm not knocking it or nothing, but it's like there was nothing on it like what we're going to talk about with AEW, where we're like, holy shit, this deserves an in-depth analysis, this, that, and the other, or this match was that. There's nothing like that, but it was solid, and that deserves. To me, I feel like that needs pointed out. That's commendable. If you can consistently put on a solid show, that's a good thing. And SmackDown, for better or worse, like it's kind of, as far as the top two shows, has been the most consistent.
Yeah, Raw really needs to cut down to 2 hours because they're having trouble writing the entire thing. But
right,
SmackDown has been consistent even before. Like when they try to bring down. Well, no, but before like the brand splits and all, like they've been trying to bury SmackDown for so long. SmackDown's always been doing good. They're just like consistently, but because they have the benefit of the 2 hour, let's fit all of our stuff in, make it fast.
See, I was still saying this that SmackDown, yeah, we are the B show because we're the best show.
The only thing missing from SmackDown's AJ. That's it. Seriously.
Yeah,
even when I got back into wrestling, I watched SmackDown a lot more because it was on Friday nights, and of course, weekend was tomorrow. And I loved watching that more. And it just sucks that for the time being, it was a tape delay, so you had to avoid spoilers. But still,
welcome to my world as being a New Japan fan and tape delays.
Yeah, it's just crazy that they're consistent.
Miss Ace, I gotta ask you, were you at the Pro Wrestling Tees store and waved at him the day after All Out 2019? Because I was at the store that day, and that's when I met Kenny Omega for the second time. And, yeah. So if you were at the store that day, we managed to unknowingly share a space at some point. But... yeah, like it's a good show. It's always been kind of solid. I think you kind of never had the hype, but
got its ups and it's got its downs. Like that's really what we can say.
Right.
But in the end, we still give it some love.
But let's talk about something, and there's going to be a couple things because there's something else we didn't mention. There's another show from AEW that's maybe not going to get so much love, but we'll get to that here in a second.
We're going to skip Braun getting slimed.
Well, that's what I'm gonna say. Like Raw was just, we say like, here's my good thing about the WWE before like all the, the people come after me saying I don't see anything good about the WWE. I don't see anything good about WWE. Like I just said, they have a very consistent, well done show on Friday nights. Now here's for what makes me go, what the actual fuck, WWE? This is why no one wants to play with you. You have a very, very, very just what the fuck kind of show was this? All leading up to Shane McMahon living out his Nickelodeon dreams? Who asked for this? Who said I want to see Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon wrestle at WrestleMania?
Is Nickelodeon having a season thing right now? Like, are they having like something where they're going to collab like soon?
I don't know.
Is this like a time?
I think I read that. Thank God we're not getting a Brock Lesnar or Goldberg at WrestleMania because A, we don't need them, and B, we really do not need them.
Brock Lesnar would be alright, but
good without the mega superstars that only show up once a millennia.
This could have been AEW's plan D for when the explosion didn't go off. They could have just had slime fall on Moxley and Eddie.
Moxley and Eddie Kingston, yeah.
I actually would have laughed my ass off if that happened. Like, oh, come on.
Yeah, then it would be like,
that's
oh,
awesome.
Honestly, when you really think about it, that would actually be typical Kenny Omega and Don Callis.
I'd still, like people, it got shit on, rightfully so, as it did. If it was like green slime, like people would really be like, "Are you fucking?"
Or maybe blood, even.
I think.
Well, you didn't remember until I reminded you, but this is the second time that they tried to slime Braun.
I forgot about that. Is there like some kind of Nickelodeon thing? Like, what is the obsession with sliming Braun Strowman or those around Braun Strowman? Like, is there some kind of?
Okay.
Vince is probably thinks it's hilarious. Like, I don't know.
So I
this guy gets slimed. That's hilarious, pal.
That's funny. Who came up with this? This guy's genius.
Big guy gets slimed and he falls on his back.
He does think a guy that somebody getting pushed into a pool is the funniest thing ever. So it wouldn't surprise me if he thinks like green slime is the like just knee slapping good time. But like it's just but like the deeper issue for me, like like it was stupid, but it's like who wants to see Shane? You say you don't want Goldberg. I don't want Goldberg. I would have no problem with Brock Lesnar coming back and having a match like he did against, your
Bryan or AJ. Roman Reigns at this point, please.
I'm not saying like if he had like a match, at least the quality wise they did with Bryan or AJ or Seth or Finn. If he had like that quality, if we get I have no problem with Brock Lesnar if we get that Lesnar. It's just always a crapshoot on what kind of Brock Lesnar we're gonna get. That being, him coming back for a WrestleMania match that was not for the title, I ain't got a problem with that. So if they want to bring back Brock Lesnar for that, I got no problem with it. I know what Brock Lesnar's value is. I'm no Bully Ray where I shit on anything that is remotely about the internet, but I see the value in Brock Lesnar.
That's why I wanted him to be the signee for AEW.
Yeah.
So, I see the value in it more than
So before we went on the air, I was going to tell you guys that there was this comment that I absolutely just laughed my ass off reading. But seriously, you have to really watch the promo, I guess like the segment between Shane and Braun. Because when you really think about it, holy shit, this has actually been all the storylines practically since this whole pandemic began. This sounds like this feud would only take place in SmackDown versus Raw on the PS2. The way they're talking is exactly how they do the voice acting in the game. And seriously, when you think about it, holy fucking it practically is.
It's like come full circle.
At least some of the storylines on the SmackDown versus Raw games, some of them were corny as hell because it was a fucking video game. Of course it's supposed to be that. They would never pull this bullshit in real life. Like, I remember, like, it was, what was it? SmackDown versus Raw. Yeah, SmackDown versus Raw 2009. There was a storyline between John Cena and MVP, of all people. And MVP saying, I'm declaring my own country. It's called Better Than Utopia. stupid and corny as fuck.
Hey,
But it's a video game.
MJF's gonna steal that idea. He's gonna declare his own country better than Utopia. To answer a question from the chat, do I think Strowman pissed someone off?
Is that how he got his motto, maybe?
Maybe.
Is that how...
Do you guys think Strowman pissed someone off backstage to get punished, or is it just good shit, pal? Honestly, I think it's for this. I think it's just good shit, pal. If they were gonna pull something like that in real life, everyone would be like, "What the actual hell is going on right now?" So, and it all started because MVP had like an embarrassing loss or something attribute to the troops. So it's like, okay, whatever then. But still, all the storylines. Oh, and then there was the Create a Superstar storyline where the guy had to fight and win in the Elimination Chamber wearing a chicken suit because Santino Morales stole his outfit. It's stupid as fuck, but it was funny in video game formats because they would never pull this bullshit. Please God, never do it. They would never pull this off in real life. I don't know. It is.
Let's want the Gobbly Goobler to win an Elimination Chamber match. Wait, sorry, I'm giving them ideas.
Yeah, you need to shut your whore mouth right now.
They might be listening.
Probably are.
Well,
they're not going to listen to me.
What do you rather be covered in, dog food or Nickelodeon slime?
I think Nickelodeon slime. I mean, as a kid, that was like the thing you always wanted to do. You wanted to get on Nickelodeon, you wanted to get slime. Dog food was just nasty.
But Vince just thinks this is the funniest shit that people want. Oh, they're going to tune in to see Roman versus Corbin for a dog food match.
They're going to tune in to see Shayna. Well, wait a minute. Time out. All right, we're making fun of this, but let's make it clear. There was a whole storyline in AEW over the summer about Chris Jericho getting orange juice poured on him, and then a match that involved having to throw somebody in a pool of fucking orange juice and champagne. So let's not act like AEW is above bullshit, because as much as Jericho made it work to a point, it was still kind of dumb if you think about it. Anybody who criticized that, I kind of see where they're coming from.
Sure.
Right. You did have a whole match on pay-per-view about throwing someone into a vat of mimosa.
It'd be like
but we don't have writers on AEW, thank goodness. The wrestlers actually come up with this.
That doesn't mean it's good.
But still, obviously,
that doesn't mean it's good.
But it's like character driven, where like the Brood would be in a blood match because they're the Brood. Orange Cassidy in an orange juice match because he's Orange Cassidy. The Brood
have never done a
blood match. The big dog in a dog food match. He's the big dog.
Okay, then
but why Braun Strowman is why does Braun have to be covered in slime all the time? That's my question. Like, where's the joke in a big guy like Braun getting covered in Nickelodeon slime?
I don't get it.
They keep on trying to do it. I just don't get. Yeah, I don't get it. Like.
It makes as much sense as Bad Bunny as the 24/7 champion.
No, he just handed it over.
Yeah, I know. It's like, okay, really? Did we just pull a Ted DiBiase where he just bought the belt from Medusa?
You know what?
It's like New Day trading it with Private Party.
Yeah.
Damn it, not Private Party. Oh shit, what's their name?
Street Profits.
Street Profits. It's like oh my god. It's like New Day just trading their titles with Street Profits. It's like the titles don't mean Bad Bunny just gives it back our come on, man.
Fair,
like
it's the 24/7 belt. It's not like it means much to begin with, and I'm not going to bitch about that because if it means old Happy Hair is off my
now it's just like meh.
It's off my TV. I'm good. I'm okay with it. But now we're going to go. Yeah. We've heard. There's our rant about like just stupid. Like here's the thing, and we're gonna. This is getting brought up later. And I mentioned this in our group chat. Here on the internet, people throw the word burial around way too free flowing. Oh, this guy won again, and this guy he's getting buried. Oh, Young Bucks won a match, buried. Oh, Cody won a match, buried. Oh, John Cena won a match. Sometimes it was buried, but still, you get my drift. What we witnessed on Raw was buried. That was burial. That was to answer the question in the chat. Yeah, I honestly think it is just good shit, pal. I think that's how Vince looked. I don't really think he's going, I'm going to bury Braun Strowman. However, in the attempt of what in the attempt of making what he felt was good shit, pal, did he bury Braun Strowman? Bet your ass he did. Like, because not only did Braun Strowman get covered in green slime, which was stupid, Shane McMahon kicked his ass.
I don't understand why
asked for this?
It's Mania season, so it's going to be Braun versus Shane at Mania.
Who
We
wants
were
this?
all there
I
when we saw
honestly
Miz
loved.
versus Shane.
I
But why does
actually
Shane have to have a
loved
yearly
that.
match now?
Miz Shane at Mania, I fucking loved it.
It was a good, yeah. I'm
It
in
was
your boat.
actually a personal rivalry, you know. Shane
And they had a
Miz's
really
father.
big superplex spot too in the Raptors or whatever. It was a cool match. I liked it.
That was awesome.
But
this
it's like
Shane jumping
Triple H is
from
going to
high
have a yearly
above
match.
is
Shane has a yearly match. It's like, how come these guys have yearly matches? When you think of WrestleMania, you want to see these storylines built up. You don't want to see these guys just get a match for 2 weeks build up because there's there. It's like, I don't care to
Again,
see Shane every year just
it's
because
not
it's
just
Shane.
I don't care
I'd
about
rather
this.
it make
It's
sense or
also
flow.
it's not that I just don't care about this. It's also why should I care? Like, what exactly was building up Shane and Braun? And I thought Shane was really going to stay on TV for a while.
And the promos they've been doing lately are awful. Where Shane comes out and
it's SmackDown versus Raw level of speaking.
Writing.
It's like,
you're right.
It's like they're obviously reading off a script, but in this case, it's like they sound too scripted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, Braun, like, I don't like this disrespect that you're showing me. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's bad. And it's like for every bit of goodwill that I want to talk about with SmackDown, Raw just comes in and like just pours green slime right.
Well, they got to fill 2 nights. They got to fill 2 nights of content.
You know what Raw is? Raw is Buzz Killington.
Okay. They got to fill 2 nights of content. Hey, that's cool. Don't mind that. Incorporate NXT. And if you're going to insist on having Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon, why are they making it among, you owe me an apology, I'm going to pour green slime on you? Come up with something better than that. I'm not saying everything needs to be personal blood feud, but for God's
that's
sake.
just that's their kink of like everything needs to be versus the Authority. You want to have the guy get over as a baby face, you need to have him versus the Authority. So whether that's Vince or Shane or the general manager or whatever.
Right.
I hate that they rely on that trope ever since it got over in the 90s with Austin and Vince. They haven't come up with a creative angle since then, but they keep on going back to Triple H. You gotta face me if you want to be the top guy. It's like, dude, no, you don't. You haven't been a top guy for 20 years, and you're just like, come on. I'd rather watch Damian Priest get a spot, or I'd rather watch
2 years.
Well, like Triple H will come back and be like, oh, whoever he's going to feud with this year for no reason, and he's going to tell them, you're not good enough until you beat me, and then he's going to lose, and then. But did that really elevate the guy? No, because Triple H does this every year. Like stuff like that, where it's Shane, same with it's just like, man, it's becoming routine. But I'd rather watch something fresh and shocking and surprising at WrestleMania, especially WrestleMania. If you're going to do it at any pay-per-view.
Let me put it this way. I'm very happy I'm not making the WrestleMania trip this year. I'm very happy I'm not doing that. Even if there was no such thing as COVID, whatever. I wouldn't go.
Hell, like a great WrestleMania worthy match I would want to see would be from NXT, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly. Like, come on, that is something
That's what I'm saying.
see.
Like,
that's
give the spot to Cole and Riley, but they're going to give the spot to Braun and Shane. Where it's like, come on, guys.
But still, come on. In this case,
but they swear that you would rather watch Braun and Shane.
Yeah, it's dumb. But we need to move on to our predictions here for the pay-per-view.
Slime on a pole match.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be the
Stop giving them ideas.
The slime and Sizzler match. Stolen from Mimosa Mayhem. And
instead of an Inferno match, it'll be a slime match. Or
it'll be a slime match. Okay. You want to hear something? Okay, this is stupid. About 20 years ago in XPW, there was a match called the Raw Sewage Match, where it was like a mixed tag match. In order to win, you had to throw your opponent into a pool of what they called shit.
See,
this is XPW. This was like the essentially like the West Coast ECW ran by a porn guy, and that was the match. And I'd always heard about it, and me and a buddy of mine found it literally at a pawn shop for $4, and we both spent $2 a piece to go. Let's just see the train wreck that we've heard about for so long. And it was a train wreck, and it was awful, and that's probably what WWE. It's not going to be shit, not going to be good shit, but it's going to be.
I have to look up like what the hell that is.
Yeah, it's bad. No, you don't want to look that up. But anyway,
I'm not. No. Trust me, I'm not watching any of the videos. But
so anyway, we're gonna get to these predictions.
What the hell is a free fall buck naked match? What? I don't even want to know. Guys, I'm literally
did you not hear me say the
YouTube.
porn guy? Did you not hear me say that a porn director is the guy that ran the promotion? Because I feel like that's kind of important. All right, so matches here. We have Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler with Reginald versus Sasha Banks and Bianca Belaire for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Easy. Who you got and why?
Jackson Baszler, because I'm sorry, didn't Bianca win the Royal Rumble? Shouldn't she be focused on fighting, Banks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like, okay.
I will give it a little bit of credit. It's a stopgap title match. It's something for both of them to do because they're both, on the good side of things right now. So I don't really have a problem with the match happening. It's something to kind of progress the story.
Wasn't it like when Shawn Michaels and John Cena they won the WWE Tag Team Championship? I'm thinking Cena Batista.
No, it was Shawn and Cena.
Oh, okay, wait.
They were the only two people who
they
were
won like a tag team championship between each other. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, unless Sasha really wants that for her career, but I'm an Easy's boat too, where I think
Banks already had a great career with the tag team.
I'm not saying it's like a life-changing fucking awesome storyline. I'm just saying like, okay, there's worse. There's a lot worse they could be doing on the road to WrestleMania. I mean, you saw them royally fuck up Ronda versus Becky by inserting a big old dash of Charlotte and a big old dash of unnecessary keeping Asuka off of the main card. So I will take something like this over that. And then I'm not even a big dislike Charlotte. I just thought that was unnecessary. But Eric, who you going with?
Well, this is because this was down on the last pay-per-view that we just watched where Sasha took the pin. I thought it was unnecessary. I just thought it was. I didn't want to see Sasha and Bellaire win the title belts because I hate that WWE does that a lot now anyway. But this match I think is going to be good because when Jackson Baszler win again, it's going to set the feud off really for Banks and Bellaire for WrestleMania, whatever. So, but I could really do, like I said, I think Banks has a lot of pull right now, and especially if she wants that, and they mentioned it, so it must be something that she's like, looking to check off in her career, like I said, where she wants to do that. Oh, I want to be the title holder and the champion, tag team champion.
Didn't we see the same thing out of Charlotte with Asuka?
Well, no, because actually, because
I kind of
they're not the tag team.
If they do end up winning the title, I feel like that's going to go on for like 2 weeks because tension's going to be brewing before WrestleMania. So maybe that's what they're going
to
with.
do needless promos where they're talking about I'm the best, now I'm the best, oh I'm the boss, now I'm the ESP, and that's all you're going to get for 2 weeks. Yeah, but I do think that Jackson Baszler for sure is going to win.
I'm going Jackson Baszler as well. Next match is Big E versus Apollo Crews for the Intercontinental Championship. It has potential. It has potential. Easy, who are you picking in this one?
I don't know. Actually, I think this one I could be okay with either or. Like, this actually might be a pretty legit good match. Please let it be a legit good match. But I'm actually going to go with Apollo Crews on this. He needs something.
Eric, what you?
I'm going to Big E retains. I'm going to go with Big E because I think they're going to go full force with him. But I think this is going to be a
agree.
really good one.
I agree. I'm going Big E as well. I feel like he's going to have a little bit longer of an Intercontinental title reign before he eventually becomes the second New Day member. Sorry, Xavier, to potentially win a world championship down the road.
As long as Big E looks strong throughout his run, he can elevate the belt too. So hopefully this is going to be a good one, and he takes it to Mania and beyond. But I think Big E for sure.
All right, the next match is Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. Easy, who you picking in this one?
Why wasn't this for WrestleMania?
And
because Bobby Lashley won the title. That's why.
Honestly, I'm actually gonna go with Sheamus on this one.
Okay, interesting. Eric, what you?
I'm gonna go with Drew, but again, I think this is gonna be another. I think Drew and Sheamus was Mania worthy, but the fact they're going elsewhere is fine. I think this is going to be another great match right here because these guys have chemistry together and stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. But I think Drew will win.
I'm going Drew as well. Next match is an intergender match. Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton. Easy. Who you got in this one?
I'm actually intrigued with this one. It's like, finally, can we get like a solid intergender match? I'm gonna say Randy Orton by disqualification, though, because I feel like this is gonna be the Fiend coming back, interfering, and just Randy wins by DQ or something.
Eric, what about you?
I think no. I think kind of the same with Easy, where I think the Fiend's going to come back, but that's going to be the real match. It's not going to be Alexa versus Orton. It'll be the reincarnated.
Let the women fight.
Well, I don't, but they're not, WWE's trying to avoid the hell out of that. Well, TNA or Impact is actually doing stuff like, or even AEW to an extent has been doing that. But
didn't China win the Intercontinental Championship twice?
Yeah, but they haven't been doing it for
Chris Jericho.
The most extreme stuff they've been doing, intergender wise, is Orton giving Beth Phoenix a RKO, or even I think they did give Bliss a RKO. That was like the most shocking, where people were like, "Oh."
Randy also gave.
But they haven't.
Randy did an RKO on Nia Jax at the Royal Rumble, which everyone was like, "Holy fuck, what just happened?"
Oh, that too. But they're not really leaning towards. I think it's going to be the reincarnated Fiend, and I think the Fiend will win.
See, I'm gonna go in kind of a different direction. I think that there's gonna be a lot of like special effects and shenanigans going on. I think Alexa Bliss is gonna win, but it's gonna be because of some Fiend shenanigans, and the Fiend's gonna do some stuff. And
you think it'll be cinematic?
I was actually gonna say
that's
maybe
that's what I'm
saying. Match, and I would actually,
or at least they're gonna work
that.
in some cinematic elements of it. But I think I see Alexa Bliss winning with some Fiend shenanigans.
Yeah. I'll say this. If it's just a regular match with some shenanigans, I say Randy by disqualification. But if it's a cinematic match, then Alexa Bliss.
It's just a 1-on-1, or is it announced as like no DQ, or is it announced
just intergender?
Yeah.
I still choose Alexa.
Okay. Main event: Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan for the Universal Championship. It will have either Edge or Jey Uso, depending on what happens tomorrow night on SmackDown, as the special guest enforcer. Easy, who you picking and why?
I'm gonna have to go with Roman Reigns on this one, because they'll especially be trying to build the tribal chief to fight Edge at WrestleMania. Otherwise, then Edge Bryan at Mania is like, that'd be cool, but I'd
rather see that match, but I also like they've kind of done too much with Edge and Roman right now, you know.
They haven't fought yet, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'd rather see the Bryan and Edge match, like on a personal level, but I feel like they've already had too much hype and interaction with Edge and Roman to not have that match. Obviously, I'm going Roman as well. Eric, do you disagree with us?
Yeah, have you guys seen that movie Super Troopers? And
Yes.
they go, what's that restaurant you guys used to like?
It's Super Troopers. What?
You never seen that movie Super Troopers?
I've seen Super Troopers.
No.
Where are you going with this?
I know.
Because he goes, if you say that damn,
please.
no. He goes, if you say that word one more time, I'm gonna kill you guys. He goes, what's that restaurant you used to like with all that stuff on the walls that's all funny? He goes, Shenanigans? Yeah, Shenanigans. He goes, oh, Shenanigans. God damn it, don't say Shenanigans anymore because the guy's sick of the word or whatever.
Yeah.
I think Jim Uso's gonna win tomorrow because of Shenanigans. And then because of Shenanigans, Jim Uso's going to be the enforcer or whatever, and then Roman will obviously win. I want Bryan to win. I want Edge to be the enforcer and everything go happy ways, but no. It's Shenanigans.
All right. Well, speaking of that's our prediction. There's no contest. But speaking of shenanigans, AEW Dark Elevation with Paul White as the commentator happened. And it happened.
Well, wait. Impact really quick because they're building to Kenny and Swan.
Yeah, they are building to Kenny and Swan. I'm probably going to get that pay-per-view.
And Good Brothers rematch with Finn Juice.
I was going to say Finn Juice Impact Tag Champs. I'm happy.
Yeah. I think those matches were. I'm fairly certain now since Finn Juice was on the pay-per-view that the pay-per-view was taped. Because, very close to the same time that was happening, David Finlay was advancing in the New Japan Cup. So I have a feeling that those were tape matches because I don't see him getting to Nashville, then back to Japan that quickly.
Okay, but just picture in a couple of weeks' time, Kenny Omega can be the Impact champion as well as the AEW champion and the AAA champion, right? He's never lost that one.
Never lost that.
So we're living in a world now where it's happening. This is like comic book level of like Batman Who Laughs, taking over.
If Kenny's going himself as like the belt collector and everything, can we please get like a Thanos style T-shirts?
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, dude. Yeah. I'm super into this comic book kind of storyline where Kenny.
Dude, imagine this. So if he's got like the AAA belt, he's got the Impact belt, AEW. What about New Japan?
Maybe I mean that either. I mean, there has to be a thing that's going to end the storyline, and it has to be New Japan or WWE. I picture it in New Japan more.
Golden Lover is a champion. That could be like, oh shit, here we go.
Take my money now. I'll pre-order it.
But that would have to be saved for a good moment. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't have that match at like just some random New Japan tour. Like, that's kind of
I would save that for Wrestle freaking Kingdom.
Yeah, well, but okay. Hey, time out there. Having that Wrestle Kingdom's a two-way street, so you're gonna shit on the G1 Climax winner,
right?
And I want to say this, and this is a controversial opinion. I don't want fucking Kenny in the G1 Climax. No way. Not that it wouldn't be good, but I don't want Kenny in the G1 Climax because All Out happens 2 weeks after the G1 Climax. Kenny Omega does not need to be essentially going and having a pay-per-view match 10 days in a row and not being in AEW for the build-up to All Out. So AEW should be his primary focus. So I don't know how they're going to pull that one off. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm interested to see how they would pull it off. But
what if Rich Swann wins?
That would be stupid. That would be fucking stupid.
Okay.
That would be me going, that'd be me wondering when Vince Russo decided to start writing for AEW and go, wow, how stupid are you? Who the fuck is Rich fucking Swann?
Rich Swann's pretty good, though.
I like Rich Swann.
You just gotta handle it. Sorry, his theme song is so stupid.
I'm gonna say, it's I like Rich Swann as a talent, but that would be like the equivalent of it's who the fuck is this guy and why is he the champion in AEW?
Right.
Like that would be Matt Taven winning the equivalent of Matt Taven winning the ROH World Title again. It's like, hey, this was really good. Why'd you fuck that up?
Why are you bringing up bad memories from Supercard? Taven.
Madison Square Taven. No, but
fuck that
Taven. I could see Rich Swann winning, but like Geek's saying here, I agree. Where it's like
I know
that would
it
make
would be
more sense
stupid,
because
but yeah,
everyone, even if you've vaguely heard of wrestling in the last couple of years, you've probably heard. Like we were talking about earlier, Hot Topic. People at the mall. You might even seen a Kenny Omega shirt. There's no Rich Swann. You're not going to know the name Rich Swann unless you're like involved. Like
it would be one thing, like if they were doing title versus title, and it were like, I don't know. Like Impact does not have like the name that could carry the AEW belt right now. They just don't. That's not a knock on the talent. There's a lot, Sami Callihan, Eddie Edwards, Rich Swann.
If it was Moose,
not even Moose. No, who the fuck is Moose? Like, I don't even mean that to like knock his talent or anything. He's a great wrestler, but like to the mainstream audience, to something that AEW kind of is getting a little bit more of, they're gonna go, who is a Moose? What is a Moose? Why is his name Moose? What the fuck is Moose?
Right. Well, the first time I ever heard of Moose was at All Out, and he had a huge audience because every time he throw a punch, everyone goes Moose, Moose, and like so it was like fun.
But should he be ending? But should Moose or Rich Swann honestly be ending a
right?
Yeah. AEW title reign? Should they really be going from a show that is barely not even like a blip on the radar of wrestling? And again, I say this with all due respect to every wrestler out there because they're all great talents. But should either one of them be honestly like, that would be stupid. That would be like, what the fuck? If that were to actually happen.
But
I'm confident it won't happen.
Side,
like David Arquette winning the WCW belt.
That kind of like,
but he was like a movie. That was like a movie. All I want now is a goddamn Kenny Omega Thanos style #1 Infinity Gauntlet issue T-shirt where he's holding the gauntlet. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
But so Dark Elevation, I watched it. The wrestling was not too bad, but it's dark. Like it's dark.
The announcing, man.
I don't watch Dark, so I kind of can't say anything.
It's
literally dark. Paul White. He just needs some goddamn enthusiasm. He was just announcing it, just like, oh, look at that match, or yeah, she has really cool. It's like, oh my god, can you put a pep to your step, please? Tony Schiavone did what he could, but it is just dark. There really is no reason to watch it, and like how you said earlier, unless they're going to insert a B storyline that's going to make it to TV or whatever. The matches are fine, but matches are fine. I can watch a match anywhere. I don't have to watch.
I'm not saying they're bad matches. Like there's some good some good matches on Dark, but it's like nothing that makes me go like, I must neglect other things. I must take time out from all from friendships and other hobbies I have. I must lose 2 hours of reading or friendships or gaming or projects for the channel. I must in order to. Is it one of those that makes me go, I must take 2 hours of my life to watch this? No. And you're right. He's like not enthusiastic. Say what you want about Don West. And yeah, Don didn't know anything about wrestling, but at least he was excited.
If this is what they hired him for, they should get their damn money back.
Yeah.
If they hired him to be an announcer, they should have auditioned him first because I could do a better job.
Yeah. Yeah, that was terrible. That was terrible. The announcing was terrible, and I'm trying to go with Big Show or Paul White with an open mind. I really am. I don't think it was a bad signing. I think that like there's still some upside to this, but they did not get off on the right foot.
I give it like a month or two before he really finds. Because even I remember the first announcing team was Alec Marvez, and people were just like, "Oh man, this just sucked." It's going to take a minute for them to find their footing, find his niche, or find his voice, whatever. But man, that first episode was just bad.
Yeah. So now we go to
Dynamite.
Dynamite was good.
Dynamite was good. Yeah.
Start off with a great opening match: Cody Rhodes versus Pentagon. I really like this match. This is kind of like what I said earlier when I talked about everybody's throwing around the B word, and I
only have one gripe.
What's that?
It's that the whole story so far between Pentagon and Cody is that I'm gonna break your arm and send you home, and you're gonna have a baby daughter soon anyway. So we all know that Cody's taking time off anyway. Whatever. They did the arm breaking spot in this match, and it didn't really amount to shit. why even use the spot then?
Right,
because that was the whole story.
Now I will say, like everybody who's saying that Pentagon got buried, Cody's putting himself over again. But it's like, I see frustration. I understand your frustration, but keep in mind a few things. One, there's a big run in at the end, so I believe if this thing just ends, I'm with you. But I think there's more to this. And number two, remember how everybody was fucking butthurt that Darby Allin didn't beat him in the TNT title tournament? And everybody's all like, "Oh, Cody's ruining Darby. Once again, he ruined Darby. You ruined Darby, you piece of shit." And then like 6 months later, it was even a bigger deal that Darby beat Cody. Like, just cool out, I know this isn't. I'm not going to try and be like kids today or nothing like that. But we live in an instant gratification society where if you're not, internet wrestling god, you haven't earned the right to win any matches. And Cody's not internet wrestling god, so people's ready to go, "Oh, he's burying, he's this and that and the other." And like, why don't we wait and see before we throw around a bury word? If he wins the next 6 matches against fucking Pentagon and goes into his paternity leave, having like beaten Pentagon, yes, he was buried. And as a Cody fan, I will even be on your side there. But now I think people just wanted to find an excuse to bitch about Cody, and Pentagon is, a fan favorite among the internet, and Cody is not. So you had your thing. You have your bitch. But we saw a burial happen to Braun Strowman. We see a continuing storyline on AEW.
Well, the ending could have been, like I said, he did the armbreaker spot, and then Cody just did a roll up to win, where it was like, because I was thinking about it later, and I don't feel cheated necessarily because it was a roll up, but we didn't get a finisher, we didn't get a definitive finish to the match, so it was kind of cheap. But at the same time, my biggest thing was, why did they do the armbreaker spot if Cody wasn't going to sell it as an official arm break, or Cody wasn't going to lose or whatever? It's like they could have just done something different, or Penta could have lost and been like, "Damn it, I was this close to breaking this arm," or whatever they could have done. But that was my thing, where it was like, man, they built the story around this, they did it, but it didn't even do it. So it was like,
a theory I read is like it could be one or more, like the fact that he ended up not fully breaking Cody's arm and lost the match could just be more motivation for him to get even more evil, do something more sinister to Cody to write him off TV.
Because Penta could be an AEW title contender too. The match that the very first time I saw him as well was at All Out versus Kenny, and I'll never forget that match. How well he was able to keep up with Kenny, but sell the main event spot. Awesome.
The only downside to that would be, to me, is the fact that they're kind of using Pentagon on the bad side of things, and it's really hard to do bad versus bad, especially when you got Kenny. I know things are very fluid with AEW, so it could be pulled off.
I'm not saying him versus Kenny now. I'm just saying in the general, Penta could be a number. But but Cody's a number one guy too, so it's like, how are you going to complain that a number one guy lost to a number one guy or whatever? I don't know. It's a weird gripe. But great opening match. Yeah.
Next match was just kind of a squash with Jade Cargill. They're building her up well. I thought the one good match she was in. I mean, I'm not saying this was a bad match or nothing, but it was just not really the showcase, if you will.
I like Jade. I think Jade's pretty promising.
Oh yeah, I definitely have more. I definitely have more optimism for her than when she had that really, really cringe-worthy segment with Cody that first time she debuted.
I know that promo, her first promo, but her in-ring so far, her match with Shaq was great versus Velvet Rose, and then this match was really, it was like you said, it's a squash, so not really catered to being great, but just showcasing.
Right.
But her, it's gonna come down to her versus like Nia Rose or something like that, because someone who's equally her strength or whatever, to really see like what kind of a match she can put on. But they said this is like her second match ever, like especially live televised. So it's like, she's, in my opinion, this is kind of like Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, nowhere to go but up. Yeah. Next segment, MJF has named his stable. It is called the Pinnacle.
The Pinnacle. Oh, wait, nobody could have. Remember last week? What names did we come up with? No one said
the Pinnacle.
The Pinnacle.
It's
cool
not, it's not a bad name. It's a good promo. Kind of just like
it's almost like when Inner Circle came out, we thought that sounds really goofy, but we both know like maybe give this a few months and everyone's like, oh my god, yeah, we're part of the Pinnacle, yeah. But,
well, I like kind of like an evil version with the Elite too. Like if the Elite is like the kiddie version of like if you were the best.
I didn't think about that. Like I didn't think about
that.
This
is basically the anti-Elite.
Right.
Yeah. It's like the Legion of Doom compared to not Hawk and Animal, but like the Legion of Doom from comic books compared to like the Justice League, you know.
But this is funny.
Especially that they're like the new badass group in town or whatever.
I was kind of like looking at a comparison to this, and it's almost funny. They basically are the Inner Circle. Like think about it. Like Wardlow's Jake Hager, FTR, Santana Ortiz, Sean Spears, Sammy Guevara, and of course MJF, Chris Jericho.
Right.
Is Tully Virgil?
I don't know. Tully's the invisible hand.
Tully's still like I like Tully can still go with his promos.
Holy shit!
Yeah, he's great.
Well, he was saying he didn't say in so many words, but he was basically saying, "This is the new Four Horsemen" or whatever. He's like, "I came in with the greatest group of guys. I'm going to go out with the greatest group of guys."
Yeah.
Technically, we got 5 guys, but whatever.
Got 10-man tag match. This was just kind of a whatever. It was there. Sting got interrupted again, and they're like even making fun of it. So why are we keep doing this? Like it wasn't a bad segment, and they like the fact they're kind of teasing like a turn to the good side with Brian Cage in this segment, and you had some back and forth with Jake and Darby and Sting. Wasn't bad, but it's kind of like when AEW is even making fun of the fact that every week we have a Sting segment, and every week he gets interrupted. I love Sting as much as the next person. I understand you want to get Sting on the show because he's a draw, but can we come up with something a little different for Sting? I don't promise Sting being on every week. If you think if that is what TNT wants, if that is what TNT says they gotta have, if this is what the network wants out of their wrestling program, and it's working.
I think it's for fans too. Like you buy a ticket, you're guaranteed to see Sting, and then this is what you get.
That's cool, and I understand they're not going to like. Can they do something a little different with Sting other than I'm going to do a promo and I'm going to get interrupted, be it by Taz, be it by Jake the Snake, be it by whoever. Come up with
kind of
Sting on the show, but come up with something new.
It's like Archer going heel again, and now Cage going face.
Yeah, but the other thing, and something we should really keep in mind, is he challenged anybody from the Dark Order for the he being Darby.
It's gonna
be John Silver, Johnny Hungee for gold.
I think this is gonna be a great match because
I'm fucking excited.
John Silver can go.
So,
yeah.
I was kind of, and then like little Brody was like, I want to fight. I was like, no, maybe wait like 10 years.
Yeah,
but okay, I kind of have to toy back into reality here. It's sad to say this, but I kind of can't really get behind the Dark Order being good guys. I'm at a point where it's
they're kind of goofy.
We had but that's good. Like I get they're kind of goofy, but here's the thing that they're over being goofy. Like they're without Brody, they're not gonna be that thing they wanted them to be, where they were like the cult anymore. Like that's just not gonna happen. They've endured through being the elites and through without that presence. Unfortunately, it's just not gonna work out that way. So it's like. I think honestly
that I just missed quote unquote hating them.
I get that, and I'm with you, but like at this point, they've through Brody's passing, and through
if you saw BTE too, they're
with BTE,
they're all running on a lawnmower.
BTE that was intentionally supposed to be goofy because obviously we had Brody just smashing papers around.
Right, but
then when we get to the ring, it's like, yeah, we absolutely
now
hate these guys.
Without Brody, without that presence, now we just know them as. Now we know them as the goofy people that we sympathize. The goofy people that we sympathize with, and our hearts are going out to right now, and we love them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things. It's like if they kept trying to make them dark, it would be as bad as they were before Brody came in.
I suppose.
If they tried after Brody's passing to go back and do that, it would be as cringe as that shitty segment they had at the end of Dynamite in 2019. So the fact that they're at least rolling with the punches here shows that's like, hey, they're adapting, they're changing. They know that that's not going to work. With, in a perfect world, Brody'd still be with us, and we wouldn't have to be having this conversation. But
I don't think it'll be Hangman, but they do need to get a new leader soon because, like Easy's saying, it's not the fact that they're just goofy or whatever. It's kind of that they're just directionless, or it's like.
Can we really get behind John Silver being the leader of the Dark Order?
We certainly can. Right. That dude. I think that dude's. I think the rocket ship's on him. I think he's going to be great.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I think. There was that switching point with John Silver last year, and I'm like, holy shit, this dude's good. And, that and just with how naturally charismatic he is, I think. Yeah, I'm not saying world champion. I'm not saying he's going to be the face of the company, but as like a single star and kind of the role he's in, yeah, I think he can roll with this for a while. Yeah.
Well, him versus Darby, I think, is going to be a sleeper hit where it's like you don't expect much, but it's going to be great. So I'm looking forward to it at least. I'm just saying, hopefully Dark Order gets something to do this year other than just running around in a circle, slapping each other's asses or whatever.
Right. Rey Fenix versus Angelico. Surprisingly, didn't care for this match. I don't know why, but it's just like for a Rey Fenix match, I just was like, what? Okay, it was just kind of there.
Not he didn't go full force this time.
Yeah, and everything's going to be, and maybe, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you're going to wrestle a style like Rey Fenix, sometimes you got to relax. But, I don't know, given the people involved, I thought it would be a little bit better.
I'm a huge fan of H2, whatever they call it. Fuck, maybe
the hybrid.
I'm not a huge fan. I'm not that huge a fan because I don't know their name. But I love Angelico because these guys, I feel like the first draft of the AEW roster, like guys like Janela and these guys and stuff, they got kind of washed over and not truly appreciated, whatever. I feel like if they got signed now or whatever, like people would be like, oh shit, they're tight, or but since they've been around for a while and just whatever. But I keep on waiting for them to get their hit, or I keep on waiting for them to get their chance, and it just never comes, or their matches never really stand out other than what I've seen, and they're like, oh, they can go. But again, like you're saying.
But it's like what you said, they're also the first draft. And I'm not saying that they're bad talents by any stretch of the imagination, but it's kind of like, okay, you need them to get through the first year, but then like when AEW started making the waves and you got your Brody Lees, your
but even Rey Fenix, like this match I expected a lot more, and we didn't. It just felt mediocre because it was like, well, I've seen better from Phoenix, or I've seen better from Angelico, but they didn't produce it in this match. Like,
right?
This one should have been on fire, but it wasn't. It was just like, I know it came after my opinion. But the guys like this, where it's like, Phoenix, he's been rising because he's putting 110% in every match. But Angelico just, depends on his mood, I guess, or how he's feeling that day or whatever. But I'm at that point where it's like, man, this first round draft guys, like they either are all their steam is gone because they haven't gotten their chance yet or whatever, or they're just truly first round picks. But man.
I mean, sometimes like they were kind of the bet, like, but then you look, it's we're on a whole tangent, but it's a good tangent to be on. All those people that they signed at first. I mean, the Lucha, Phoenix is on the rise. I mean, Pentagon's obviously doing something with Cody, so that doesn't mean he's in a bad spot. Pac's still kind of up there. So those three guys, they're not world champion, but they're still doing well for themselves.
Exciting. They're still on the up.
MJF's on the up, obviously. Like, he's the one that's probably of all of them that they sign, like, out the gate. For all intents and purposes, like Hangman Page, he was kind of the, I don't want to say the redhead stepchild of the Elite, but I mean, he was kind of the one that, good old Hangman, compared to Cody, the Bucks, and Kenny. And then, then now he's, to me, the person I'm the most invested in. But then you look at some of the other people they had signed originally, sometimes Sammy Guevara's, made a good, main event potential. But some of those other guys, like, the phrase, the cream rises to the top, the cream is still, those are the top guys. And then, like, Janela's just kind of a guy to me. And I don't dislike I don't hate Janela. Nakazawa was is in his role. He's just kind of meant to be there. But, like Joey Janela, he's just kind of there, The Hybrid 2, they're not a bad tag team, but they're just kind of there, compared to people like the Best Friends and, all these other, FTR, all these other tag teams,
Best Friends, I feel like, would just be in the same boat if it wasn't for Miro. But Miro does not need these guys to be like in this feud to elevate any of this.
Well,
Miro should be on his own boat.
But there was that segment where I think they're kind of getting ready to head into something like that. So I don't know. I feel like they need to turn a corner with Miro. But I feel like after that segment he had on Dynamite with Sabian, they're definitely getting ready to turn that corner. But yeah, just kind of it is. But now finally we get to the main event.
Oh boy, we're ready to talk about this.
Here's the thing, I'm excited to talk about it, but remember how I always say, what can you say about a good match sometimes other than go see it? That's kind of all I can say is go see it, and unquestionably right now it's my match of the year.
Yeah, I was just going to say...
even when you look at, like, the backstage footage, like, after the show went off the air, you see, like, even Tony Khan said, like, hey, that looks like show of the year, match of the year. I mean, seriously, this was.
Oh, yeah, this was, like, and this is everything. This is... I would pick this.
This shit made me literally squirm when I was watching it because of, like, how painful it looked.
Same.
Oh yeah, like
powerbomb on thumbtacks.
They did a death match better than Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley just did. Even taking out the dud of the explosion at the end, this was still a better match.
Both women look badass after this. Like Britt Baker looked badass.
Omega, we kind of saw more action in under 30 minutes. Than we did on Revolution.
I think, right? I think they had 20 minutes, but they packed those 20 minutes.
But Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, this match that just happened on Dynamite, yeah, I take it. I think it's better than.
What was your last? You said there was another AEW match that you thought was match of the year contender. Someone did. Maybe it was Easy or you.
I'm trying to think.
I know Easy was thinking that maybe MJF and Jericho versus the Bucks would be a match of the year contender, but I mean that's
for tag team.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
but no, for sure. When I was watching them, I was like, this felt special. It felt for Dynamite.
I think maybe
unsanctioned though. That's the only thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, like the match,
like it doesn't really count.
I don't count cinematic matches because there's just like it's a different. You can reshoot a cinematic match. You can't reshoot a match like this. This is why whenever I do my year-end stuff, it's like I put over the cinematic matches that were good, but they're not in my top list. It's like, oh hey, that didn't work so well. Let's reshoot that. You couldn't reshoot any of this.
So I guess you wouldn't consider like say the final deletion as like a match of the year candidate. Okay.
No, not at all. I'll give it an honorable mention because it does take some work, but like. It's like it's lit to me. It's apples and oranges. You're comparing two different things. But the one thing I want to get to, the thing that I like the most about this match is it felt earned to be this way. They've been feuding for months. Sneak attacks and Thunder Rosa always coming out on the bottom. And, like, you wanted Thunder Rosa to win. You wanted to see, it was a feud that built to a level like this. It was...
And we especially wanted to see Rebel get thrown into a table.
Yeah, well, I mean, like everything, like it built so well. Like, this was a conclusion to a storyline that was earned. It wasn't like, hey, we're gonna have a hardcore match because we've had 4 weeks of build and we're having a hardcore match on a pay per view. And I'm not like saying AEW or WWE, but like that's just a trope in wrestling. And it's just like, okay, we're gonna have a Hell in a Cell match even though we just started feuding. We're gonna have a lights out match even though we haven't even had a regular match yet. Like so many of these tropes happen in wrestling because like, well, we need to make. They've wrestled 7 times on TV. We gotta make it special for the pay per view. But it's like this actually was like a good. Everything.
This was pay per view worthy.
Yeah, everything built and built and built and built and built to like where it's like, holy shit, this is a good feud. This is a good storyline, and it needs to have a good conclusion. And we got it in spades. And it was.
But literally, if you weren't sold on Thunder Rosa before, you definitely are now.
Oh, yeah.
If you didn't like Britt Baker before, you definitely do now. Like this, not only elevated both people when one lost, it didn't matter. I don't like if you didn't even tell me Thunder Rosa won right now or whatever, I wouldn't even care.
Here's the big thing, like there's so many. I'm not trying, and this is not me taking away from the match, the wrestler, any of them. This is just kind of just a real concern. Every time AEW knocks out of the park with a women's match, we always go, okay, are they going to turn the corner? And they've gotten better, but it's still kind of just always been one of the weaker parts of the show. Is this finally, after Rosa and Sheeta, after everything, like, is this finally where the women's division is like finally turned that corner, finally gotten over that hump?
I would argue that some of the best matches in the women's division for AEW have been Thunder Rosa, and she's not even officially an AEW person.
Yeah, she's getting ready to wrestle on the NWA Return pay-per-view too.
I would honestly say that they need to sign her right fucking now, throw as much money as they have to, because her match with Serena Deeb on AEW was awesome. Her match with Sheeta was awesome. Her match with Britt Baker was like. If you're saying that the women's division is doing good, it's because of Thunder Rosa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally, they need to do whatever they have to do to sign her right fucking now, because she's literally the future of women's wrestling. Like,
yeah,
like Double or Nothing needs a title match with Baker and or Rosa in it. Like maybe we might get a 3-man match with Sheeta, which that would still be awesome.
Yeah, because I was never really sold on Baker before. Like I know she's good, and her matches are.
Well, she's a great character, and this finally was probably one of her better matches. I'm really
awesome character.
Awesome character.
Her and Big Swole
I just
and
don't
all that.
understand. How is she not got an AEW women's match yet, or a women's title match yet?
Because but
this is the first match. Yeah, well, this is the first match after looking where I'm like, dude, Britt Baker's a legit threat. Like, she's not going to go down easy. She's, I legit buy her in the main title picture.
They didn't know how to book Britt Baker at first either. They had her as, squeaky clean, legitimately, please, not ironically in the bad way. It was like, no, seriously, look up to her. She's a dentist. She's powerful. She's a role model. You should love her. And everybody's like, yeah, okay. And then they let her show her real personality, and it's like, okay, she's better suited for that.
Right.
They essentially tried to, unironically Kurt Angle her. Only with Kurt Angle, they're like, okay, people are going to puke at this because it's kind of, it's great as it is, it's still kind of obnoxious.
Or watch her launch her whole conspiracy theory attack on her.
They tried that first, but it's still now it works because she's just doesn't work. That role does not work for her. And they found the role that finally does. But yeah, I would definitely, this match is so far the match of the year. It was better than Naito and Ibushi. It was better than Kenny and Phoenix. It was better than better than Shingo and Tanahashi. It was better than Kenny and Moxley. It's the match of the year. I'm not going to say it's kicking all those matches asses match of the year, but I'd say I'd rate it above them.
And they knew it was special. Rosa couldn't stop crying as soon as the bell rang. she knew it was, and like when they interviewed her after or whatever, she knew it was like something that they were both a part of. Or it was like, man, this is star-defining moment.
Oh yes,
like you watch like when the show went off the air, you saw like just everyone congratulating everybody. Like even Baker said, like, no, that was like fucking awesome.
Yeah,
and
but
that's
yeah,
like
man,
the
watching
kind of
that
like
shit.
insider stuff that, well, I guess like obviously not insider terms, but like that's the kind of like deep emotion I like seeing out of AEW. They're showing that like, hey, we put on this insane show, and these are like the real human beings here that saying, yeah, what we did, that was truly some good shit.
It meant stuff to everyone. Great, like I said, great Dynamite.
Find a way to watch this match if you haven't already. That's all I have to say about this one.
And even like AEW didn't hesitate to upload the highlights already of what happened.
Because they uploaded it at 7 o'clock. At 7 o'clock on the dot, they uploaded it. Like it was like, what the heck?
No, that was like literally an hour after it finished. Like, oh shit, they already uploaded the highlights. Like,
yeah, but definitely just goes to prove like so far this match of the year, and proves to me why Thunder Rosa is the best female wrestler in the world right now. So.
Yep. I agree.
And that's pretty much it for us this week. Thank you everyone for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share, subscribe for more content, not just from the world of pro wrestling, but from the world of comic books, gaming, anime, and all things geek culture. Follow me on my social media pages, Facebook.com/AthleticGeek89, Twitter, Athletic_Geek89, Instagram, AthleticGeek89, and if you would like to help improve this channel financially, hit me up on Patreon, Patreon.com/AthleticGeek89, easy social media if you please.
Yeah, give the geek the money you know you want to.
The money will go to improve all of this. It will make all of this better. It's not just gonna. It's not gonna improve the wall. It's gonna improve the camera and the lights and the prizes you win. That's what it's gonna improve.
It'll help us break the barriers.
Yeah, check out our OnlyFans.
I don't think anybody wants that.
No, please, no.
I don't think anyone's asking for that. But I mean,
nor should anybody even have an OnlyFans. That's the stupidest social media website next to Parlor.
We'll be posing with belts, all sexy. So check it out.
Do you want to see? You want to see the three of us recreate the Shawn Michaels play girl? Hit us up on OnlyFans.
Yeah, I'm out. Nope, I'm out. Anyways, back to my social media shit and everything. Guys, you can find me at Eric Zarens. Yes, that's my real name, but I like to go by Easy because that's some good shit right there. But anyways, I love being a part of the show. I'm working on becoming a life coach. So if you ever need anything, like just don't hesitate to ever message me. I'm always active online. And especially with this crazy times we're living in, everyone is stressed out beyond belief. But more important thing is, more and more of the vaccines are coming. So that way we can finally have a safe world. We can finally have full capacity wrestling shows. And I miss these guys so much. I haven't seen them since WrestleMania. So yeah, I love these guys so much, and you guys gotta love yourselves as well.
Eric, do you have anything to say on Macari?
I just sold some stuff the other day. I mailed it out, whatever. I'm trying to buy some stuff now, but check it out because I'm always selling.
Yes. Well, for Eric Wade and Easy, I'm the Athletic Geek. We're just Marks, and we're out. We'll see you next time.
Good night and goodbye.
You just spent $130 by accident.
Whatever.